Everyone. Here is the profile overview of Mr. Kabir A. Abdulkadri. Mr. Kabir A. Abdulkadri is a visionary entrepreneur, a business coach, e-commerce expert, real estate investor, and full-time mentor. With extensive experience in multiple industries, he empowers individuals and businesses to achieve success. He co-founded two companies in Nigeria, which are Acoview Tech Limited and Global Castle and Luxury Properties Limited. Mr. Kabir was formerly a lecturer in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Anambra State, for 2 years before his resignation to pursue his dream in the e-commerce sector, and this has been the best decision of his life. He rose from a classroom teacher who earned 10,000 naira monthly to owning two international businesses and still counting. He is currently the general manager at Acoview. Mr. Kabir's expertise are in 1. Entrepreneurship, startup strategy, business growth, innovation. 2. E-commerce, digital marketing, online sales, e-commerce optimization. 3. Real estate, investment, property management, market analysis. 4. Business coaching, leadership development, strategic planning, team building. And 5. Mentorship, personal development, career guidance, entrepreneurial mindset. Mr. Kabir's achievements are as follows. He has successfully authorized a book published on Amazon titled Online Sales, A Proven Path to Success in E-commerce. 2. He has successfully launched and scaled multiple e-commerce ventures across Africa. 3. He has successfully raised about 5 millionaires in Naira through e-commerce and still counting. And he has also trained hundreds of other entrepreneurs in their businesses. 4. He is building a thriving real estate portfolio. And 5. He has inspired countless individuals through his mentorship program. Mr. Kabir's mission is to raise 1 million entrepreneurs with $1 million each through his books and coaching programs. A short biography of Mr. Kabir is as read. Mr. Kabir A. Abdulkadri holds BSc and MSc in Industrial and Analytical Chemistry, respectively, from the University of Technology, Minna. With several years of experience in entrepreneurship, e-commerce, real estate, and mentorship, he has become a respected thought leader in these fields. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that quick overview. So welcome once again to this amazing session. For some of you that are meeting me for the first time, I'm like she said, I'm an entrepreneur and business coach. And one of the goals I have, the biggest of all, that concerns me much, that give me sleepless nights, is to be able to raise 1 million people that each will smile home in their bank account with $1 million. That's a very huge goal. So, and people like you that are here today, is an opportunity for you. Of course, part of what we're going to be doing today here is part of what I expect to be doing in order to be able to achieve that target. So it's not all about following this. It's not about listening, but more importantly about picking 1 or 2, 3 things that will be beneficial to you in the course of this presentation. Now, there's a particular book that I read that led to this session today, which I like to start by mentioning. It's actually what inspired this session. And the book is written by Brian Tracy. The name of the book is Eat That Frog. I will advise that by the end of this presentation, you get the book. And it's easy actually to get. You mustn't have to get a hard copy. You can just go to PDF drive, PDF, I don't know if I can write it, PDF drive at gmail.com. Is it PDF drive at something like that? pdfdrive.com. Just type it on the Google. You are going to see the website. So once you go in there, just type any book you want. There are millions and billions of books there, and they're actually completely for free. Most of my financial books that I've read so far, I just go there and get it. So it's that easy. So that having been said, just like you can see the title to-do list, daily task, and of course, time management. This topic is one of the topics that have put some people ahead in life. Of course, if you don't know how to manage your time, then a lot of things that you might be missing out of life. For those that know how to manage their time, they are always ahead. So part of this presentation today will be dedicated to teaching you how to manage your time. For most of the successful people I know, there are people that value time a lot. In most cases, you find out that they have to even buy most other people's time. So let's get started. Now, the topic again is how to plan your days. Your days could mean hours, minutes, weeks, could mean years, it could mean like long time goals, 15 years and all of that. So, but we actually just title it days here. Okay. So now let's continue to the next slide. Okay, why this webinar? Why did I decide to organize this today? For most of you that are my colleagues, my friends, most of my staffs are here. Some of my mentees are also here. I posted some things on my status on this back. I think I started like the last 2 weeks, I started doing that. And I'm intentional, like I told you, I'm very intentional about my wealth journey, my wealth creation journey. So most cases I do things just to attract people, because most of the things you see me do today is what is already working for me. So sometimes I find a way to just initiate some other persons by just telling them or just posting it for them to read. And once they find it interesting, they are always going to ask me, what are you doing here? Why are you doing this? And I always take it gladly, like an opportunity for me to explain to them. So if you are here today, you are my staff, you are my mentee, you are my friend, a colleague. So of course, this is for you, okay? Most of you are actually belonging to this category. Now, another reason that is very important why this webinar is good for you is that it's going to help you learn how to compress your task, right? Most cases, what I've learned personally is that if you tell yourself that I'm going to do so and so today, right? And then I'm going to spend so and so hour doing it. It is very easy for you to achieve it at that time that you have specified for it. That's why you are seeing within shorter duration. Assuming you have mentioned some task and you didn't give it time, you just allow it to spread. Then I can tell you that what you are supposed to be doing within, say, 24 hours, it's possible that it's taking you 3 days or even a week, or probably you never get it done at all. So that's why I said the being here is one of the things that will help you to compress your goals. Of course, we have long-term and short-term goals. We are not talking about goals today, but this particular presentation is actually a kind of breakdown of the bigger goals and visions that we all have. Like I said, we are not talking about goals today, but it's very important that you are very specific about your bigger goal. Like I'm talking to you right now, some of you that have the opportunity of talking to me personally, I must have shown you that I have 10 years, 15 years goal written clearly in a document that I always look at. So if you don't have a goal, this is the right time for you to have your clear goal. Now you can have a financial goal, you can have family or relationship goals, you can have spiritual goals. It's spread across your life, okay? It's not all about financial goal, but one thing I've learned again is that if you can get your financial goals right, every other thing might likely fall in place. It's usually the bigger frog. It's usually that of the most biggest aspect of all. So if you get it right, most other things will fall in place. I'm not saying they must, but most of them will come falling in place. So another reason why we are doing this is to help you achieve more within the shortest possible time. Of course, from this explanation, you understand that you can do a lot within shortest possible of time if really you have it structured. I'm going to teach you a lot in this presentation. Just take time and follow me. So it also helps you to track your progress. How far are you doing? How well are you not doing? What are you not doing? What are you supposed to do that you are not doing, right? What are you supposed to do that you have done ahead of it? Like one of our staff was talking to me today that she actually set a goal that from Monday to Friday, she wants to upsell to at least 5 customers. And she just gladly report to me this Monday that she actually did up to 6 customers. So she's actually a starter. That goal is very small. As at the time she's setting it, I look at it and I told her, I didn't tell her, but I knew that it's a very small goal. But to her today, because she set that goal that I want to do 5 and she later do 6, so that shows that that goal is small, meaning that she's tracking her progress and she's able to see that, oh, what I told myself, I can actually do more than that. So it's actually one of the reasons why this class is very, very important to you. So finally, before I move on, let me look at this. Your goals must be smart. We don't have enough time to explain all of this, but the S here means your goals must be simple, like it's simple and self-explanatory. It's not cumbersome, right? We're going to be looking at some examples in the course of the presentation. Your goal must be smart. It must be smart and, like I said, clearly mentioned, and is not too cumbersome or ambiguous to understand, right? It must also be achievable. Don't go and say things like, okay, for example, myself now, some of you, like I've been saying this online over the time, that I want to make sure that I train 1 million people that have $1 million. It looks like something that is not achievable, even to me, myself, sitting right here. But do you know that some of these things I'm going to teach you today is what is making me believe that it's possible? Because bit by bit, just like in my overview, my preview introduction, she said, I've already trained people, about 5 millionaires in Naira already. So if I can do that, it's just a matter of time, and it's just a more structured way of organizing it. It means I can also do $1 million, right? So myself, I'm still in the journey, okay? And I also want to take others like you alongside with me. So your goal must also be realistic. Say what is possible. You don't go saying that within a week you want to make $1 million when you have never made 1 million naira. It's not realistic. It's not possible. So set a goal that is realistic within a specific time bound that you know is likely to happen. Even though most times your vision and your purpose or your goals might look so ambiguous, might look so big than you, because obviously if you are a great person or successful person, you'll be setting goals that is beyond you, your current you. So what you might want to do is to start looking at how to break that goals down into, maybe it's 10 years, then you break it down to maybe 5 years, you break it down to annually, you break it down to monthly, you break it down to weekly and daily. I do more of, after having the long time goal, I do more of annual and then more of daily. Okay, I do more of annual. Sometimes I don't mind monthly, but just let me break it down for you. Choose what is convenient for you and then stick to it. So who this webinar is for? Who is this webinar for? Now, if you are looking out to live a balanced and fulfilled life of purpose, like a total balance in terms of your relationship, your personal life, your business life, your career life, your work life, and all of that, your learning and everything, you want it to fall in place without necessarily hurting other parts, then consider listening till the end of this presentation. Then you want to live ahead of others. Like what I often tell our staff is that anybody that learn the tricks on how to do this better will always get ahead, just because I've tried time and time again. Anybody that learn how to do this particular task or whatever we're going to be presenting here, you learn how to do it and you actually do it, you put it in practice. There's every possibility that with time, just give yourself maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year as the case may be, I can guarantee you 100% that you get ahead of others. It's not a magic, okay? So either your friends, you are looking at, getting better, just consider listening and then see how this works. You have a scary goal that is bigger than your current self, like I said, consider following. Then you are willing to become somebody of your own, like you want to be in charge of your life. For what I found out so far is that a lot of people that depend on others for their life is because they cannot manage their own life properly. They cannot manage their own time properly. They are not disciplined enough to understand time management and what is really important in their life, as at the time they are supposed to do what they are not supposed to do. They just live life because they are living. So most cases you found out that they end up serving others until the end of their life. So if you are willing to become in charge of your life, then consider following to the end of this webinar. If you are also a chronic procrastinator, in fact, I don't know how much as should we emphasize this. Like you always put up things till like you want to do it next week. You want, like Brian Tracy said, some people live on the island of someday. Like that is where they live. They will always tell you that someday life is going to be good. Someday life is going to be better. Someday I'm going to do this. Some days I'm going to do that. So they continuously live until they are 40 years, they are 50 years, and they never get this done. And they keep wondering why. The problem is that they don't have to-do list, they don't have a plan, they are not organized to be able to know what they are supposed to do at the time they are supposed to do it. If you're always afraid of also missing out from deadlines and you're always struggling with too many tasks, like somebody posted to me, I wanted to share that, but I don't know if there's time to do that. The person said, since he started following my status and he began to copy, he said it jokingly that, sir, do you know that I've stolen some ideas from you? I said, it's not stolen, no, because it's something I willingly do, and I know a lot of people are tapping. Those who are serious are actually tapping from it. So it's good. He said he usually get angry with himself because of the way there are so many things to do at the same time, and usually struggle to meet up. So, like, even though he gets some things done, but he always feel unfulfilled because of he's not planning his things. So, like I said earlier, there are categories of tasks. Now, let's understand this carefully. It's not everything that you must do, irrespective of who you are. Even if you are a business owner, it's easier for you because you can delegate to your staff, and many other persons will get some things done under you. But even if you are on your own, in your own life, you are not even into business, it is not everything that you must do. Okay, I'm going to explain to you, but let me just quickly run through this. Number one, I said there are things that you must do. Those things are compulsory in your life. I'm into e-commerce. That's my main business. Now, let me mention to you one or two things that I must do if my business must move. Number one thing is I must learn how to get a product to sell. For some of you that are into e-commerce as well, okay, I work under Acoville Tech Limited. Okay, that's the name of our company. And then I'm the general manager at the time of making this presentation. So, but one of the biggest job we have that is so big that I personally, as one of the managers of the company, must involve myself is what we call product search. You must have a product to sell. In fact, if you don't have product, there's nothing, no business, nobody, no customer service, nothing. There's nobody else that will do anything. So product is a priority. So it's compulsory. So anyhow you want to do it, this is job, is something that you must do. It's either you have a reliable hand that will do it or you do it yourself. There's no two way about it. Now, in your life right now, you may look around you and see that there are certain things that you must make compulsory for yourself. It's possible you are ignoring them. Now, this is the right time for you to list down things that, look, these are the things I want in my life and I must do them. Obviously, most times you are afraid of these things. The things that you must do to take you to where you want to go, you are afraid of it, or either you doubt yourself, or either you feel you are not competent. Most cases, that's how it comes. So a lot of people, like 90 to 95% of people are poor because they avoid what they must do, because they are not competent enough or they are not knowledgeable enough. So they keep avoiding it until they get old. For me, I wrote down some of those things that I'm afraid of, and then I keep following them on daily basis, religiously, little by little. I'm going to tell you how to break them down. Once you realize that this is what I must do, break it down and then start with the little you can. So that way it will not scare you. So there are things you should do. For example, now, if I'm looking at my e-commerce again, I will say in terms of like customer service now, calling customers, I will say most of those ones are things that I should do, but I must not do it. I don't know if you understand now. There are things I should do because I need to call a customer that place an order, but I must not do it because I have some other people that can easily do that. It's not everybody that you say, okay, come and give me a product to sell. Those that are into e-commerce understand this better. They can never get it. Even most of us that have been in the industry for years, it's not a thing that you can just go and get. It has a lot of technicalities. So, but for you to say, come and call customer, you can just have somebody today, the person learn how to call customer, has already closed a sale. So that I must do, but I must not do. Somebody else can do, so I can delegate. So like I said, I'm just using an e-commerce here as an example. If you are into anything, just anything in your life, even your personal life, you are not even into any business, you are not even working anywhere, but look at your relationship, look at your home, look at your spouse and yourself, your children. What are the things they must do? What are the things they should do? List them out. In most cases, it is clearer when you write them out clearly. and then you begin to delegate the ones you are supposed to delegate, and then you do the ones you must do, right? Then the last one I have here, the things I'm supposed to do or may have to do, right? Now, in this part, you find out that this one, if you don't do it, nothing might likely happen. Like, it's just like an ingredient to your life. It's just an additional something to your life. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me before I continue. Can you hear me, please?
We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, that's very okay. I just want to make another example. There are things that are not so important, but they are ingredients. Take, for example, this presentation I'm making now. Most of my staff are here and they are learning from it. Okay, they are here, they are learning from it, they are building their capacity, which is invariably going to build the company. But if I don't do this presentation now, it doesn't really stop anything. I can still tell them that at your convenience, go and learn this, go and learn that. But it becomes obvious and very important for them now, and also many other persons that are here on this webinar. Why? Because they want to organize their life. We want a standard. And anybody that is not organized cannot organize things. You must be organized before you are able to organize something else. So I don't know if my example seems very perfect, but then it's just a way of showing you that in a lot of ways, you need to be organized. You need to force yourself to know the difference between what you must do, what you should do, and what you may do. Not necessarily important, but you're supposed to do it if you want your game to be up. Like recently, we started learning how to build a standard, what we call high performance team in our company, that in such a way that every staff can stand confidently and do their job at least 70 to 75% without interference. They can deliver that way. So let's continue. Now, this is like, I call this an expert's insight. Why? Because these ones are very, very important. And the 3 ABCD you are seeing here is like a research that is being done over the years. I want you to classify yourself as soon as I explain this. And you're going to find out that this is very true. Now, let me start from number 1. There's what we call 80-20 rules. 80-20 rules, meaning that 20% of what you do in your life, successful people, okay, let me start from successful people. People that are successful and so wealthy that they have so much money that they don't know what to do with their money. 20% of what they do in their life account for 80% of what they want. I just give you an example that if I'm into e-commerce, I need a product. If I have a product that is hot selling, that product will give millions and millions of naira because millions of customers are going to be buying it and they're going to throw millions of money into it. And therefore, that money will account for all the people that are supposed to work in the company, everything that is supposed to be running, 80% of the company, that everything, that money will take care of it. But it all starts from getting one single thing right. So meaning that, that's why I tell you that you need to find out really, if you are in this webinar and you really do not know what is that thing that is important in your life, at the end of this webinar, I challenge you to go and write it down clearly. See, don't joke with it. Don't think you want to have it in your head. Have a document, like I told you. I didn't mean you can see me lively. I don't know. I don't want to stop anything. Let me just continue. But I will show you a document that is about 5 pages. I prepare it annually, actually, and I update it on daily basis, depend on how the ideas come to me and what needs to be changed and all of that. I'm that organized. And I also always feel that I'm still lagging behind in terms of my organization. I'm going to show you a few things. Now, but for poor people or average people, it depends. So, but most of they want to do everything. Most of them are jack of all trades. They are actually doing everything without actually doing anything. Let me say this again. People that are average or living poor life, they do everything. They waste their time. They make noise. They do things that they are not supposed to do, meaning that they do everything that they are not supposed even to do. Even the one they are not supposed to do, they do. Even the one they are supposed to do, they just add everything. I just told you about delegation. If you have children at home or you have a spouse, learn to delegate. In fact, even your husband should be able to take part of some of the things you do at home. It's just a simple way to live a very fulfilled life. Okay, I'm not saying you should go and force your husband to do things, but then if you understand me, you understand me. But what I'm pointing your attention to is that 80% of people, okay, let me take this back. Let me go to previous. I don't know how to clean this thing. Anyway, let's continue. 80% of what they do account for 20% of what they get in life. which means that they work so hard, but they end up getting very little. So it's left for you to place yourself right now if you want to be wealthy. If you have a particular tax in the office, that's why it's very important to list them out. By the time you list them out, you already know, okay, out of all this one that I've written, this one is very important, this one is very important. Do you know that I want, for example, for some of my staff that are here, do you know that I want to upsell? It's more important that I want to close my normal orders that have been given to me. I don't know if I should say that again. If you want to do 20-80 rule, you have to place more priority than on I want to upsell, meaning that you have been giving one order with one quantity to a customer, but you find a way of talking that customer into buying 3, 4, 5. Do you know that that's so important in your life, even much more than that your normal job? Now, if you want to stay poor, you'll be doing 80, meaning that you just be doing that regular job you are giving, not paying attention to doing little and actually getting more. So that's a simple example with regards to e-commerce. Like I told you guys, I want to be doing more of regarding this to what my staff can understand. But if you are not into e-commerce, you are into something else, please find a way to figure out whatever you are going to be doing your 2080s, to figure out what is more important and then focus on that. Usually you're going to be afraid of it. Usually it's going to threaten you. It's going to look like a lot of people, it deceive you to say, let me start with the small, at least let me close this ones first so that I will now go and do that bigger one. You find out that you are trapped. At the end of the day, you never end up doing it. And do you know that if you do that one that is bigger, that is going to give you massive this thing, there's always possibility that it will swallow all these 80. I don't know if you guys are getting this. Now, number 2, start with the more difficult ones. Obviously, I've just explained this. Don't be tricked into starting with the small task after listing them out. Remember, I said list them out. Don't think it. I'm going to show you how I list my own. Then also learn to delegate. Sorry, it's Leran. It's a mistake. It's a topographic error. You learn to delegate. Even that delegation, like I said, if you don't have anybody to delegate to, start with the ones that are more difficult and more influential and more impactful in your life. Don't be tricked to start with the ones that are more simple, because that's how poor people will continuously do simple things and they end up living simple life that is so full of struggles. Okay, so now weekly time spent. Now, this is an research. I say you should classify yourself into this. Poor people spend 40 hours in a week. Weekly, they spend 40 hours working, meaning that 6 hours daily is what they used to work. The remaining hours out of 24, they use it to either make noise, sleep, or drink coffee in the office, watch movies, and all of that. I don't know if I should say that again. If you are poor, right now, if you know, look at your time. And if you are working in an office, if you come to office, start a watch. It's an exercise that if you are willing to do, will change your life. It has changed my life already and it's still changing. Start your watch. Each time you are supposed to work, you can even start it and stop it with time. Like once you know that you are actively working and you are doing something reasonable, start the stopwatch. And once you finish that thing that is reasonable and you are making noise, stop it. Now track this within a week. 6 days is what I actually use here. I didn't use 7 days because I believe Sunday should be for rest. So I use even plus Saturday, because most serious business people always use their Saturday to also work. Okay, it depends on what you are looking at. But on serious people or poor people will always say Saturday and Sunday is for rest. So they never want to work. They are lazy. So, but what I'm telling you in essence is that some of them that are even serious, or the poor people that are even serious, there's one that are using 4 hours in a week. And invariably, they are using 6 hours daily to do something reasonable. And that's why they are still poor. Now, that is A. Number 2, which is B here, average. On the average, they spend 65 to 69 hours working weekly, which translates to about 10 hours or so daily. Now, like I said, you can also classify yourself. Until you test it, you will know that these things are true. Imagine that you are even living below 40 hours per week. You'll be wondering why you are poor, but you must have to be poor. You must have to be poor. For people like us, what we do is we try to buy people's time. Like my own 24 hour now is not enough. My own 24 hour now is not enough. So I'm looking at how to buy 100 people 24 hour. By the time I buy 100 people 24 hour, I multiply it by my own. So it means that in every 24 hour, I have times 100. It depends on your capacity. And it doesn't matter whether you are working for others or not. If you want to apply this formula to your job first, because that's where the journey starts from. It is when you are so productive that more income opens to you, more responsibilities come to you, And it is when you can do a lot more that a lot more responsibility will be assigned to you. That's how you can learn more, and that's how you can be a human being that is really worth of value. I don't know if you guys are following. If you are following, let me know if you are following. If I'm giving value here, if you are really enjoying the session, please say something before I will continue.
You are getting value, you are getting value, you are getting value.
Yes, sir.
Follow it, sir.
Sir, we are following.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, for the wealthy, Oga Patapata of them all, I
Sir, we
listened
are
to Elon
following.
Musk. Okay, that's good. Elon Musk said that he spent between 80 to 120 hours every week. 80, I listen to him. Like, he's one of the people I follow every day. Even as soon as I'm done doing this thing, I have a way of following him, even watching his previous podcast. But I always follow him. Like, I must learn things from him every day. I look at myself like I must listen to him, like he must talk to me. Even if it makes sense, even if I understand it or not, he must talk to me. So he said the least is 80 and he spent over 120 sometimes working. That's Elon Musk, so the billionaire, the biggest billionaire on earth. So what about you now? You now, what? You now understand the reason why you are poor, or when you are living average, you are living from hand to mouth. This is obviously the reason, right? So it translates to about 13 hours. So please go and do the mathematics yourself and help yourself out with it, with the remaining thing. Now, finally, I'm going to present to you some practical slides, right? I just want to explain this quickly before I will go to that practical guides. And I will show you an example of, obviously, most of the people that are here, this is the reason why they are now here. And it's very important for us to close with this, right? But for me, like I told you, I always like to start a background information that people could really relate with. It's not all about writing down those tasks. What is the reason behind it? Who are you? What are you really pushing at? Why are you writing this task? Why do you need to achieve them? What is your why, right? If that your why is big enough, then there's a lot for you. It's not about writing. So like I said, long-term goals, you must be part of those people that already you can picture out what, like, I think my PA is here. I told her to go and write her 5 to 10 years goal and send it to me. She did. And interestingly, we're already working on some of her personal goal that is not even related to our company. Like, but in a lot of ways, if she's good like that, all of us win together. So what I'm telling you is that it's not about writing down these things, but who do you really see yourself becoming in that next 5 years? Have that clear vision. And that's what we actually mean, the breakdown of that who you in 5 years or in 10 years into this discrete daily tasks that you're going to be doing. Like, this session might not really be long enough to take everything that you're supposed to do, but everything that you're supposed to know. But I know that a smart person will now know that, oh, so I've been sleeping. One of the reasons why, what prompted me to make this presentation again, that I had one of our staff asking that, how am I supposed to know how to program the things I'm supposed to do within the week, even when I've not entered the week? That's a good question. But if you don't know, like some of them, I noticed they were afraid that, what if I say I'm going to do this and I'm not able to do it? Now, that's a language of the poor. If you say you are going to do this and you are not able to do it, it only means that you say something that you couldn't achieve. So you go back and track, why would I not able to achieve this? Now you learn, okay, I didn't do this, that's why I didn't achieve it. Okay, what can I do now to correct it? That will teach you a lesson that is more practical to your life, that will give you wisdom. Okay, but okay, like I said, one of our staff set goals to achieve 5 upsell, but she did 6. So okay, so the goal I set was too small. Now she will upgrade it. Next time she might be setting 10. Then she'll be dragging with that. You know, that's a way to improve. Now you must set annual goals. Some people will set within year. You know, after you set the long time, you break it down into monthly. Depends on what's convenient for you. Weekly. But this is an exercise that you might need to take your time to do. Like, take it like a business. If really you want something reasonable out of your life, I don't want to take much time doing that. But let me now go back to the main practical that I want to show you. Let me stop the slides. Okay, end the show. So I will show you. Now, I found out after learning this method from Brian Tracy, I now find out that, where are those things? So I will go to my sheet. Now, for some of you that are not used to Google spreadsheets, okay, this is the time you are supposed to get yourself used to it. It's very simple. This is on laptop, but you can do it on phone. You can do it on your phone. Although there are functions that you might not be able to input on the phone, like drop downs and all of that. I'm going to show you. but you can simply just do it on your phone. The reason why I've decided that I'm going to be having this now on my spreadsheet, let me even open one of it. The reason why I decided that was that after learning from Brian Tracy that I need to always plan my day and what I do on daily basis to be able to move myself ahead, I was writing. In fact, over the years, I've been doing it, but not very structured until I read that book. And after reading that book, I found out that writing it on my jotter or my books, or sometimes it gets lost, sometimes it's at home, I'm somewhere, sometimes, no, I don't really have access to it. I decided, okay, why don't I just make use of Google Spreadsheets where it's always on my phone and I can access it at any point in time. So you use your Google Mail, just like you are seeing, okay, your Google account, your Gmail account. Let me just click that place I clicked earlier. You can see once you enter your mail. I'm going to click here now. That place you see my cursor. Let me click there. This, if I want to enter my account, my mail, this is where I will enter. Now, there are a lot of things here. You know, this is the Gmail itself, sorry. And this is YouTube, a lot of things here. But the essence is not to explain all of those things. The essence is just to show you Google Spreadsheet. You can see this is the spreadsheet now here. Now, in case you want to use your laptop, once you log into your Gmail, just click on that dash dot there and locate Google Spreadsheet. Once you locate your Google Spreadsheet, it's that simple. And if you are using phone, just go to your iOS, or you go to your App Store, just download Sheets. Just the way you see the name there. Either you write Sheet or you write Spreadsheet, whatever you write is good. They are going to bring it for you, and this is their logo. You are going to see it. So download it. Once you download it, then it's easier for you to what? To be able to structure it like this. It's very simple. There's nothing hard in it. I just design it with my color the way I want it. I put yellow color, I then put blue. Then I now design these ones with drop down. I'm going to show you how to do it, but let us run through this. We started this with my PA here on the 28th of, we decided to shift this thing from writing on books to here on the 28th of November. Okay, so that was when I actually started screenshotting it. Even my book, I used to screenshot it sometime, but because it's very difficult for me, I don't always do it. So it is me and her here. Okay, so what we do is, and what I will advise you to do is, once you have this Google Spreadsheet set up, you must always come to enter your activities for the next day. Like just like now, this evening now, before you sleep, you are supposed to enter what you are going to do for the next day. Please note that this is daily task. Daily task is not for monthly, it's not for most of those long time. I have it written in a document. I only do daily here. Like some of our staff are already doing weekly too. Like before, on Sunday, before they will enter Monday, they already design all the things they hope to do before, like the number of orders they want to take, the number of deliveries they are expected to make on their own, not somebody forcing them to write, but they write it down and then work towards achieving that. See, this thing, there's magic in it. For a lot of us that are watching this now, you might just be thinking it's something likely. But if you want to get ahead, or you want to practice what successful people do, I think you might consider practicing this. It's actually hard. It's difficult because it will be frustrating you. But what I'm assuring you is that if you practice it and you're able to get it right, the time that this thing will help you manage, you will now find out that you now do a lot in a short period of time when you have enough other time to rest without problem, without issue. You are so organized. You are no longer angry at yourself for not getting jobs done. Now, let me scroll down. If you notice, let me open one of the drop down. You see here, I have completed, I have in progress, and I have pending. Now, these are just the three words, the three things that I can tick. You see that I have the thing pending. I didn't do it. I didn't do it at all. That is pending. Then if I do it and I complete it, that's completed. If I started it but I couldn't finish it, I'll put in progress. And the day has ended, I'll put in progress. You just simple, if you come, even without designing all this color, just put your 1, 2, 3, just put the date. Recently, we started putting the day as well. Like below here, we'll just put, like if it's Saturday, we'll put Saturday. If it's Monday, we'll put Monday. I'm going to scroll down now and you're going to see it for yourself. So you see what we are doing. If it's her that has come to enter her own, she's going to write the date. She's going to write the stuff she wants to do. You can see here where you have author. She have Royal Vicky there. That's her name. To show that that goal was her own. You can see where I started my own. So each time anybody can come and enter their own. If you come here and see the person have entered their own, just go below it and enter. That's if you are using multiple users. This is just for me and her. Nobody else is here. And if you are just alone, you just enter and begin to enter your things. You don't even need to write author to understand who owns that. Okay. Now let me keep on scrolling. You can see some days I have a lot of red, which means I fetch too much more than I can achieve. But one obvious thing I want to teach you here is that please don't frustrate yourself and make yourself believe that because you write them down, you must finish them. Some days might not go well, some days might go well. But what this help you do is to remember that I am supposed to do this and this also last week. I didn't do it. Now, what is the possible time that I can now do it? Each time you scroll back, your mind will consciously remind you that, look, I have not done this and I have to do it. If the date, sometimes some activity are for weekend, it has passed weekend, then I have to wait for the next weekend. Then I want to fix one or two things that I can add up to what is happening in that, because every weekend comes with its own activity. If you are carrying over the previous one, you need to beg what is happening in the next week to see whether it's going to fit in. Otherwise, it's trouble upon trouble. So, but for the life of an entrepreneur or a serious career-minded person, this is always your life. You always have to design your moves. And like I said earlier, this does not only include your business life, your personal life, even going to church, going to see pastor, eating, watching movies, playing. Even I have included my child started learning this already. He have his book. It's a daily task book. Once he wake up in the morning, one of the first things he do after praying is to list out all the things he's supposed to do for the day. He's used to it already. It's not a thing I need to tell him. And if I ever see him in the daytime playing, I will ask him, go and bring your daily task book. Did you put it that by this time you are going to be playing? If he can prove it to me, fine, we are done. For some of you that have met him, you will have seen that his life is taking a turn. Like, he's a small boy, but he's doing things that elderly people actually cannot even do. Right? So let me not spend much time on this, explaining this. I don't know. If you want to do drop down, if you want to create drop down, you right click. Normally now, the way we use laptop, if you right click, you are going to see drop down. See drop down here. Let me just click on drop down now, for example. You see, as I click on drop down, do you see that a drop down sign appear here? And it's giving me sign to write whatever I want to write. Assuming I want to write completed, I'll just write completed here. Then assuming I want to write in progress, they are giving me two options here. I'll write in progress. Then if I want to add more options, you can add up to 10, depending on what you want. If I want to add successful, whatever it is, what did I say pending. So you write pending. Once you are done, you just click on done. But before I will click on done, you see my own is carrying color. Some are red, some are, so this is where I put color. Just where you are seeing my cursor, I just put, see, if I want to put this completed, so let me see, I will go to customize. The color I put is not actually there. So I'll go to customize. Then I will drag this thing to the color I want. I will just place it somewhere. I will just okay it. You can see the color has come now. So once the color has come, this I'll just put red here. Red is already available. Let me just leave it like that. So I've already done it. So if I click on this drop down now, you see the options are here. If I mark, can you see it? There's more to it you can do. If you notice, you see my own is colored. Like, everything here is colored. So there's a way you can set it up. See, because of time factor, I don't want to spend much time teaching you most of these technicalities. The most important thing is to get it straight. If you are not able to design it like this, go to YouTube. You are going to learn the remaining one. Just click on YouTube and tell them that you want to design your sheet like this, and they will give you videos to watch, and you have to get it done. Then one last thing I want to say before I will open it for questioning is that let me go to my today's task. For some of you that have watched me put my today's task, what I'm doing right now is it's supposed to be a 30-minute session with two of my friends, but it turned out to be for a lot of people. So once I'm done now, I'm going to click completed. So I'm going to also have my live Facebook session after this. I'm going to put completed. I'm supposed to read. So a lot of things today, so much thing that I might not be able to finish. I might have a lot of read today. So I was actually complaining this to I think this is also complete. No, this is in progress. There's some that I've completed actually. Okay, let me check. follow up on Ghana. I've completed this. I've completed this already too. I've completed this. So now what does this tell me? So now if I carry over anything, just like I've explained, I think I'm clear enough. You can see here that I put traveling to see mom, 2 hours in progress. That day was in progress. On 7 was in progress. Let me go back. And there are some things that cannot actually wait. In the following day, it must continue. You can see on 8 now, which was yesterday, Abby, traveling to see mom, returning back, 2 hours journey completed. Can you see it? Surprise call to some selected friends and family pending. Yesterday was pending, and day before yesterday was pending. So you can see that is really troubling me. I want to even remove it, that tomorrow I will not put it again. So, but what it tells me is that that part of me giving some part of my life to some friends and family is lacking. That, like I told you, this is like your life. This is your life. This shit is your life. And if you can track it well and do it well, a lot is going to change for you. A lot is going to change for you, right? Thank you for having me here. I don't know how many minutes we have spent, but I'm going to leave you to ask your question. Please ask any question you want to ask. There's no question that is stupid to me, so that we can now have a very complete house, and then be able to understand that a lot of people get what I've presented. Thank you once again, and I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope we are still here. I have 18 people here. I mean 19, 17.
We are here, sir.
Okay. Now, please, let's ask questions. Let's ask questions.
We have
Or should I start calling names? If you have observations, it's not necessarily a question. If you have observation, you have something you are doing similar that is related to this, maybe this class has helped you, you can just help us to say something to make sense. And I mean, like, to make sure that we have communicated. I just want to be sure that we have communicated.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
Is it afternoon in
Oh,
your place? Which country are you, sir?
sorry. I'm sorry, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for this wonderful presentation. I think this class is a very interesting class. We learn a lot from this class. So my question is, please, sir, like, if you are the kind of like procrastinating in your activities like tasks, so what is the best this that you are going to put in place in order for you to deal away with the procrastinating?
Okay, very.
Network. My question we need to hang. How do you?
Oga, we don't lost this mentor.
I said to this this mentor he has done.
Yes, he's coming back.
uh, oh my god, network.
Can you guys hear me, please? Can you hear me
Yes, we
Yes,
now?
I
can hear
will
you.
hear you now.
We
Okay.
can.
Procrastination is another name for I don't want to succeed. I don't want progress. I'm not ready to do it. I am lazy. This is not for me. So all these ones that I've is another way of even telling God, like, see, I don't want to play my part. Just come and do everything by yourself. You understand? And that's so powerful if you really understand it that way. So, but to be able to manage procrastination, I don't think there's one answer fit all to it. One thing I have for you is that if you start following this task, like daily task thing, you're able to figure out that this is my bigger goal. And for me to achieve this bigger goal, like I said, the entire of this class now might not be somewhere I can actually what? Okay. I can actually explore everything for you. But if you start breaking down your small task and you're able to follow it to be achieving it, small, just the way it is. I will do this today. You're able to do it. You do maybe 50%. Another thing I want to encourage you to do is that don't be discouraged when you see red. At least you should encourage yourself, and each time you achieve any of your goal or any of your tasks, be happy. Celebrate small wins. I think one of the best way to overcome that procrastination is if you have achieved one small thing, find a way to be happy about it. I was telling that my staff that since you sold 6 instead of 5, celebrate it. Find a way to celebrate that. I don't know if you understand. There's another way to what? Make yourself better, make yourself feel better, and then you are excited to do more. By the way, with time, you find out that your procrastination is fading away. See, there's no magic that is much more than this task, like that daily task, writing it and then going to do it. I don't know how best to say, but I don't know if I answer your question.
Yes, sir, you did. And thank you for the answering questions.
Did I answer your question? Any other question, please? Any other question? My friend, my Oga Patapata, Mr. Jake, I want you to say something on this webinar, please. It's the genesis of this. Okay, yes, you answer it, sir. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mumat Global. Mr. Jake.
Thank you so much for sharing this insightful presentation, Mr. Kapil. And good evening, everybody. Beautiful day to you, wherever you're watching from. It's quite power packed. I joined in early and sort of got distracted doing something else while the class was going. But before I got distracted, I actually did get quite a number of things, and it's quite power packed. So I'll just implore us to, and this is actually something that's very, very key in the dedication of our time, and also making sure that we are following up with that. If you don't delegate your time, see, there's something interesting. If you don't delegate your time into what you're going to be doing, you'd end up not doing quite enough. I've realized, personally, that every time I've set out, like, to do tasks and set out time blocks to them, I end up doing a lot. Distraction doesn't come because you are focused on, I want to do this, I want to do that at this time. This time is dedicated to do these tasks. But if you just set out, just like during the beginning of this session when Mr. Kapeo, our coach, talked about, if you don't set out time to do, you realize that tasks you're supposed to carry out that's supposed to take probably an hour or two, it will take you 3 days, and you end up just keep procrastinating. Now, these kind of activities would help you. Someone asked about procrastination. This kind of activities is going to help you with procrastination, because when you set out time to do something, you have time blocks. Realize that procrastination would not have space to come in because you already have timing for everything you want to do. And every time you don't do the thing that you've set out time, you realize that to keep hitting you that I need to do this, I need to do that. So it is setting the times, then doing the tasks that follow. So I just implore us to just do. This is something that's value packed, and something that a bunch of people is probably going to charge a lot of money just to teach. So we should actually take heed and actually do it. Start setting up the time blocks and start doing it. And whatever it is you didn't do, yes, sometimes we set out to do 5 or 10 things, we don't do it. You set it for the next day. You keep packing and jump packing. When you keep packing things to do, you realize that okay, I need to start doing stuff. So thank you so much once again for sharing this insightful, practice on how we should be going around this. You're quite amazing, sir. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, sir. While you were talking, something came to my mind. If you don't dedicate your time will dedicate you. That's what it means, right? If you don't use your time will use you. So, and you end up being broke, not knowing why you are broke. So thank you so much for that insightful contribution. Please, somebody else should say something before we round up. Queen Esther, the most amazing part of completing tasks, it gives more confidence and being happy about it. Yes, that's true. That's true. I learned that from Brian Tracy as well. Thank you, Mumat, for that insightful comment. Esther, are you there? Where is Elizabeth? Can you say something, please?
Okay, sir. I'm actually on transit. I just had to put on my earpiece because of the noise, but I'll soon be home. So, but
It's okay.
if it's actually not distracting, I actually learned a lot
It's okay,
from
go ahead.
your presentation, talking about time management, of which is very crucial. And something just popped up in my mind, saying that if we fail to plan, we have planned to fail. So we have to be taking our, like, every second, like, people that I actually, sorry sir, I'm kind of distracted. I don't know if
It's
I can
okay, we
just
can
get
hear
home,
you.
like I'm on transit.
Fine. It's fine, please, no problem. Take care, safe trip. Okay, I think we have come to the end of this webinar. Let's not take much time. I hope we have learned. Please, one thing you can do for me. Okay, Queen Esther, please.
Yes, sorry, my network was something sleeping. Well, I what I understand is that in anything you want to do, you have to set your goals. And I could remember a friend of mine that I think she lacked putting herself together first, because anytime she do business, she will end up changing the business from business to business, and at the end of the day there is no profit, and she end up losing her money and starting all over again. So whatever you are doing, that you have to know what you are doing. You have to consult, you have to act and set your goals right. So
Hmm.
I think this class was very impactful, and I've learned a lot, because at times when you see people failing, it's because they don't ask, they just jump into things that they don't know about, and at the end of the day they end up crying. So sir, I really appreciate you for dedicating your time to, you know, tell us more about things that we don't know. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think with this we have, okay, Royal Vicky, she's putting her hand up. Okay, quickly.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for this webinar. I've really learned a lot, and I've added more knowledge to what I thought I knew before. So there's something I want to say quickly about writing things down. It does a lot of magic. It's more than your pen and your paper. Sometimes you want to do something, you plan it, you tell yourself, this is what I want to do for today. But along the line, you might be carried away by activities and you forget. But when you write it down, it makes it more serious and it makes it more important to you. So that when you don't end up doing it and you come back to it, you feel very unfulfilled, like, oh, I wanted to do this thing today, but I didn't do it. So let me do it again. So it's very important to set your goals. Even if you cannot start with the spreadsheet, just as Mr. Kabir has told us, you can start with your pen and your paper, your daily
Hmm.
task. This is what I want to achieve today. If you don't achieve it, it's fine. But by writing it down, it's a kind of reminder that will keep on ringing a bell until you get it done. Writing down, apart from setting your goals again, there are some things that will come to you and you put them down in your paper. And maybe in months, years, weeks to come, you refer to them and they help you. So I
Hmm.
just don't want us to neglect the importance of setting goals or the importance of putting our goals into writing. It really helps. Thank you very much, sir, for this
Amazing.
opportunity.
Amazing. That's insightful. So thank you. Let's close for the day. Let's do it some other time. Enjoy the rest of the night, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Now that I reached, that's when we ended the class. Oh God, Jesus. The background is like very noisy. Like